Good evening. My name is Mac Bica. I'm the coordinator of of Veterans for Peace Long Island, and I'm here with Terry Maroney. And we're kind of going to wing it tonight. We are going to talk about probably a range of subjects, but our focus is going to be our hopes and expectations for the next 4 years for the current administration. It's no longer some remote war in some foreign places that only affects 2 or 3% of the population, which was the case. It is the case with Iraq and Afghanistan. Most people feel themselves separate and apart and alienated from all that. But when it comes to the economy and what's going on in this country, which of course the war is related to, but no one makes that connection, or very few do, people should, in fact, take an interest out of their own self-interest. Forget about benevolence and altruism and concern for your country. It's all about you. It's all about me. It's all about whether or not we're going to have a house next year and whether or not we're going to have a job. I mean, these are scary times, and we hope something. I always think about that cartoon. I don't know if it was Disney or one of those cartoons when I was a kid, that there's always one animated character chasing the other, and then one character walks off the end of the cliff and is suspended in space and looks around and stays in space until he looks down and realizes that he's no longer on solid ground. Once he does that, he falls. It seems to me that we're out there in space right now, and we haven't looked around, and we haven't noticed yet that we are off solid ground. But I fear that the realization is coming soon. We need an enlightened public. We need to become aware. We need to be activists. I know these are terms that people would rather not associate themselves with. Activism, but activism is patriotism. Activism is concern for one's fellow human being. It's very Christian. It's very religious. Any and every major religion and not so major religions talks about fellow human beings, and so this is not alien concepts. We should be concerned about each other's good, and we should be concerned about our country if we in fact are patriots and we love our country. And we're talking about the well-being of our country. It is not in the interest of our country to have unnecessary, immoral, and illegal war. It's not in the interest of our country to have black sites and prisons like Guantanamo Bay, where we violate the laws of God and the laws of man. The whole world is watching. And this alleged war on terrorism that we're waging, it's not about killing Osama bin Laden. It's not about destroying Al-Qaeda. Because terrorism is not about organizations. It's about a state of mind. And whenever, under the new Obama campaign, we just had a drone attack into Pakistan where a number of civilians were killed. I mean, this is what creates terrorism. This is what creates the mindset. Just think, if your child was killed by some foreign occupying country, wouldn't you be upset? Wouldn't you now have a hatred for that country? Wouldn't you now become an insurgent? Wouldn't you now want to war against those that killed your family? So our alleged war to end terrorism does nothing else than create terrorists. We are the best recruiting device that terrorist organizations have. We need to change our philosophy. And Obama, I think, has a great opportunity to do this. He's regarded by most of the world as a voice of reason, a voice that's going to negotiate and talk rather than immediately bomb. But if he doesn't take advantage of this, and if he squanders this moment of opportunity that he has, and does more of what we just seen this past week, this killing of civilians in this drone attack, I think we're going to lose that opportunity. And that's going to be sad. And then when we lose that opportunity of winning the hearts and the minds, we're left with the option of either putting our tail between our legs and becoming isolationists, which might not be a bad idea, or to continue the bombing. And I doubt whether we're going to be doing the former. We're probably going to be doing the latter.
I think we're on the wrong course, and I guess the question is, what specifically can we do about it? So I know, and I hear people say organize, organize, organize. So I'm not quite sure how to go about that. So maybe you have some ideas.
I don't know. I mean, it's frustrating. It really is. And those of us that, like yourself, have been working for peace and social justice and for what's right over the years can't help but be frustrated. We try hard to educate people. We try hard to motivate people to do something. And I'm not saying go out on a cold winter's day with a sign in their hands and yell and scream in front of some politician's office. All that's good too. And join us, we do that all the time. But even if it's so much as making a phone call to your congressman or senator, writing a postcard or a letter, expressing your view on what's going on, it's in your interest. It's not about us. It's not about the other person. It's about you. This is your country. And if you truly love America like we all claim to do, you want to do what's in America's best interest. You want to do what's in your best interest because these two are linked, especially in this time of a failing economy and global warfare. Of our own choosing, by the way. This wasn't a war of necessity that we find ourselves in. This is a war of choice. And we shouldn't ever forget this. Bush's doctrine was preventive war. Not even preemptive war, and there's a distinction. And maybe one day we'll do a video on theories of war, which I think people need to understand. So we made these choices. We made these choices. You say, no, it wasn't me. It was these leaders. But yeah, but they speak in your name and they speak in my name. And I'm outraged when they do so. And I'm outraged as I watched the death toll rise of not only Americans, but certainly of Americans, but of all human beings. Because it's not only the case that we're part of the American community, we're part of the human community. And we share our humanity with everyone, whether they be American, Iraqi, Afghan, Iranian, whether they be Palestinian or whether they be Israeli. We need to understand the humanity. We need to understand that violence, this reciprocal cycle of righteous indignation, does not work. Just stop it. It's that easy. Just stop it. I was just amazed this past week that Obama sat down in front of the TV cameras and with a stroke of a pen closed Guantanamo Bay. With a stroke of a pen. We've been fighting to close Guantanamo Bay for 7 years now, 6 years, and thought it a major event. It couldn't be done. We're going to keep fighting, and then with a stroke of a pen, it's done. I remember during the Vietnam War, slugging through rice paddies and wondering, am I going to survive this? And are my friends around me going to survive this? And thinking that this is a war of all wars, that it could never end. And then in 1973 or whatever it was, with a stroke of a pen, the war is over. It's amazing the weaponry that we have available to us. The pen can bring it all to an end. And all we need is to want it. All we need is to do it. Is that naive? Yeah, maybe. But is it any more naive to believe that utilizing the same techniques over and over and over again, the techniques of militarism and war, which have clearly demonstrated its inability to accomplish anything, that this time, in this situation, it's going to be effective. It's going to end war. That's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again in similar situations and think it's going to bring about a different resolution, a different conclusion. We need to rethink. And as Terry's been trying to push home, we need to become aware. We need to become engaged. It's all about being engaged. That's what citizenry is about. That's what patriotism is about. That's what love of country is about. We need to stop wasting our time with TV and going down to shopping malls and placating our egos and our desires with things that truly aren't important in our life. And I'm not saying to become a monk or go live in a cave someplace. I'm just saying that we need to find time for America. We need to find time for our fellow human beings. We need to find time for right and justice. And if we truly love this country, and if we truly love our fellow man, we need to become engaged. We need to be active. We need to get out there and stop the insanity, and do it now.